Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to start with the assignment about the English variation in the Cultural Week. The topic for today is Creole. The Creole is like in Colombia we called is an English, un inglés criollo. So we're going to start to share my information to you that so you will going to watch what is the important information about Creole. So we're going to start in this part, the Creole. I'm going to present. Okay, we're going to start. The Creole understanding Creole. San Andres Island here in Colombia is San Andres Island and Providencia. Okay, and objectives identify the English variation Creole in the San Andres Island in Colombia. Understand the origin of this variety, the number of speakers, and the important facts, including remarkable linguistic features. Recognize the important remarkable linguistic features. First, to start, the Creole, it's a language that the first English settlers arrived around 1630, making English the initial language in the island. So when that people arrived to the island, they conquered the island and they brought the kind of English that is an African English and Jamaican, something like that, of from IT English that they brought with the slaves to the San Andres Island. The population of slaves African was brought from Jamaica and Mexico coast, introducing African languages into the Creole development process. The grammar of San Andres Creole English includes features from both English and African languages. In San Andres Island, we find Creole de San Andres. This is the like it's like an Inglés criollo, as they said. That is a mix between English, American English, or British English. In this case, is British English, and the last information said the Africans and Jamaicans English. So that is like a new language for them. And this is like a Creole of San Andres and English. In this part of Colombia, a country, we find around 220,000 native speakers of Creole. Why native speakers? Because uh, the people uh, have that language like something natural for them because they have a lot of years speak that language. So when people are born there, the people learn the English like a something natural, we speak Spanish, something natural. And that, for example, we have an example of Creole in Creole de San Andres. What is done in the dark must come to the light. You better come down. Offer you high horse. So you can see that is similar to Spanish, to English, sorry, to English. The Spanish for them is less popular. It's most popular the English or the Creole in San Andres. So, for example, you can see they like the first language for them is Creole English. The second one is Spanish because of the influence of the Spain. So they can mix both English, but the first language for them is the Creole, English Creole. In this part, we're going to speak about catch roost and Morse models. In these parts, you know that the car catcher's model is about the inner, outer, and expanding circle depending of the importance of the English. So the Creole, it's it's situated here in the outer circle because it's not an American English. It's not a native English. It's something adapted to the necessities of a country, and the people speak English in this part. So it's not expanding because the people acquire is like a second language for them. And according to the MERS model, we can find the Creole in the central varieties. In this part, they say that the English is between these because we have the Jamaican English here in the others. So it's like a Middle English. In this part, we can find some Creole words are formed by the reduplication. For example, friendly friendly for them is very friendly. Chatty chatty is talk excessively. So you can see the difference between in this part. For example, the final consonants tend to be voiced for some words in Caribbean Creole English. For example, reduced is like a reduce. Child is like a child. And respect is respect. And this is a different consonant. The sound system or morphology is not identical of the American English. For example, we can find this in this way, and for them is this. So the writing is different. With, and we can find in the Creole English is with this, and in the Creole, this. In the past tense, verbs don't change in Caribbean Creole. For example, Creole in English, me drive the van yesterday. Here, the past tense is the past expression that is yesterday, and in American English I drove the car yesterday. So here in American English, and that as we study, the past of drive is drove, but in the Creole we can find the past time. So in this part I'm going to share some samples for an Creole people. Let me share a different print. Okay, in this part, we're going to change our print to. Okay, I'm going to share with you a video about that. I hope that you listened. Es británico, francés y una lengua que hablaban en el esclavitud africano. Y esas tres lenguas mezcladas forman el criol, que son muy similares al inglés. Por decir, cuando yo voy a saludar a una persona, yo no le pregunto, hi, how are you, como lo diría en inglés, sino que digo, hi, how you doing? How you? How you doing? How you doing? ¿Pero qué pasa? Se dice, what happened? What happened? Es como decir en inglés, what's happened, pero nosotros lo abreviamos y suena como, what happened? Perro. Dog. Gato. Puss.
As you can see, there are some changes of the words like cat, they say puss, how your day, they say how are you.
As you can see, the Creole is similar to English, but it's not the same language. Um, so I'm going to come back here to close the video. The Creole is an English. If you have the opportunity to travel to San Andres, you're going to find many people speaking in Creole. That is like a something English, is something African American, and is something Jamaican English. So for them, it's like a normal language, and they speak all the time in Creole. Thank you so much for your attention.